Hello everyone, my name is Lorena Pulido, founder of OrígenesTV, a platform where we promote content related to human development. I'm journalist, I'm also coach. And today I have the pleasure to have a Simin Sobhani. She is from Iran, living in Canada, and she immigrated at age of 19 to continue her education. She traveled and studied in India for nearly 10 years. Then she moved to Africa for another 25 years. She served at least 13 years as an educator at different levels. She also worked as an entrepreneur, lecturer, inspirational speaker, life coach, and facilitator at various training programs at educational institutions. Welcome, Simin. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Thank you.
Thanks. Simin, well, today we're going to talk a really interesting topic about happiness and joy. Mm-hmm. So I think, first of all, we should define what is happiness and what is joy. In your opinion, what is the definition of each term?
Yeah, that's very interesting, actually, important topic. And I believe that our Heavenly Father, He wants all of us, He wants every heart to rejoice with joy and gladness, that we can live together and with absolute joy and felicity. So this is really what our Heavenly Father wants from us. That we are created to be happy. In fact, I believe that happiness is life. And even we know that time of joy, when we are happy, our strength is more vital, our intellect keener, and our understanding less clouded. So we are created to be happy.
Yeah.
But then what often I think it would be a wonderful reminder to know that what is actually happiness. So that happiness consists of physical happiness as well as spiritual happiness. So with physical happiness, whatever is our needs, our wishes, our desires, even if something like quenching the thirst and hunger, these are all physical needs. And this kind of joy and happiness is temporary. Whatever you buy, you enjoy it, you celebrate it, having it for a week, enjoy it for a month, or the most, in a year, you forget. And then you have, continuous needs and desire. So these are limitless. This joy and happiness is limitless. While with the spiritual joy, that's eternal. So what is that spiritual joy? It is for us as a human being to reflect about how can we acquire those attributes, those excellent character that can really not only transform our deeds, our actions, our thoughts, how we can really make a contribution and serve our community to build a more vibrant, united community. And this is the joy that we draw, and that joy is permanent. That's the inner joy that you draw through acquiring those attributes, which we all have it. We all have that seed in our heart. It's been planted. We've been created in God's image. So we have those attributes, but how much do we nurture those attributes to ensure the happiness?
So yeah, that's the question for me. Also, yeah, happiness is more like, okay, something that you can get outside. Recently, I was telling you before we did this podcast, this video, that I watched a short movie on YouTube called Happiness. So everyone who is interested to know more about it, just Google happiness. And it was really interesting because what I saw is like people, we as a human, usually we look happiness in the outside, like in a job, family, drugs, different things that are outside, but how about the inside? So we forget about ourselves. What is that seed that you said that we have inside us? And I think once we find that, that's the joy that we need every single day, because that is not a rush. It's not like a drug, like a happiness. It's something like a joy, something that you can feel and you can keep probably longer a little bit, and it's more winning, right?
Exactly, absolutely, because this kind of a change of this perspective and kind of a bringing awareness that inner joy, as you talk about, we all seek. Well, I can't say we all, but many times we seek from outside, and sometimes it's depressing to see that there is something great that we've been endowed, we've been gifted, which is within, that we can nurture. But however, unfortunately, sometimes when you look at the forces in the society and you know, the kind of the influence that it has, sometimes it is somehow is so much of consumerism that, you know, feed that kind of a desire that if you want to draw joy, this is how you go about, you know, buying and, you know, but these are all, as I mentioned, it's very temporary. And the happiness, the really joy and happiness of individual is not consisting of their own personal wealth and riches or status, you know, position, but on, you know, the excellence character, on their nobility, on self-respect, and how much they're able to solve difficult problems, how much they can really be a source of joy to others and bring hope to hopeless. This is true joy and felicity, which can really help to build a community based on love and unity. And when that love is there, you can see the growth.
Yeah. So my next question for you is so now that we know the difference between happiness and joy, how our listeners or people who is interested in this topic, how can we find that joy, that inner joy every day? Do you have any suggestions? How can we put it in practice?
Yeah, well, that is a very interesting question, and I think it's a day-to-day striving, because I think if we reflect each one of us on a daily basis on how much are we aligning our thoughts with the core values that we all have, how much are we aligning our heart, our thoughts, you know, or the decision that we make align with those values. And that's something that I guess on a daily basis we can reflect individually, whether through prayers, through meditation, through reflection, on how on a day-to-day basis I bring my action to account. And I think this would be a great way of assessing our day, where we're able to bring more spiritual values and something that could benefit humanity, and it's not all about self, but then also about joy of giving and service. So this is, I think we all have a role to play in this. So very often, you know, when people, they look at the situation in the world with the crisis, whether it is political, with health, with financial crisis, and with the environment, name it.
Yeah.
And one would be overwhelmed. Where to start? Well, it is very encouraging to see that there are a lot of forces of integration. There are so many millions of people in the world are planting that seed of love. And that planting that tree, planting that seed of love, you don't necessarily see it reflected in the media. Cutting a tree is you know, you can hear the sound of it, you know, but there are people who are really working individually to making this world a better place. So how can we do? I suppose by first of all reflecting on our own actions, acquiring those noble character that we all have been endowed with, that this capacity to really nurture those values and those attributes of God, and then how to translate those into action.
Yeah, so you think, I know you like volunteer. I think probably volunteer will be a good start for people who wants to, try this inner joy.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think by giving, by sharing, I think this would be very empowering to know that, you're stepping one step, out of, so to say, a comfort zone and reaching out. And I think really this is a true essence of happiness, because unfortunately, very often one look at the symptoms of what's happening and see how to remedy, whereas the root cause of all this crisis that's happening is actually lack of spirituality. To me, the remedy is those divine attributes that we all have them. It's just a matter of how on a daily basis we can nurture those. I think the same way that if we want to have a healthy, physical body, what is required?
Exactly.
Discipline, exercise, a proper diet. So all what's required to have, a solid and, develop the muscle. So for the spiritual muscle, to develop that, what's required? So likewise, to develop those, those muscle, those spiritual muscle that we all need in order to really make a world a better place, to be able to make a meaningful contribution, is to reflect on our own actions and see how we can on a daily basis strive and bring those, those moral purposes, of being whom we want to be, making a difference, and translating those into a field of service and in action. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Simin. I think that's a beautiful topic that I think we all can take a lot of information and put it in practice. So thank you so much for being here today. And I'm gonna put in the description if people wants to contact you, if they want more information about this topic, or you are a coach, so people can contact you if they have more questions about it.
Sure, by all means, I would be more than happy. I'd be delighted. Thank you very much for the opportunity that you provided. Thank you.
Thank you, Simin. And thank you everyone for watching. So we will see you next time.